Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for this evening's special talk, Ramayana from relationship perspective. Let's begin today's topic first by offering prayers to Srila Prabhupada and to their lordships, and then we'll begin today's talk. Please join me if you know these prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I welcome once again all of you for joining this special talk on Ramayana from relationship perspective. Coming Sunday on 10th April, we have Sri Ramanavami festival, appearance of the Supreme Lord Sri Ram to teach us how to live in this world. Supreme Lord appeared and demonstrated how an ideal human being's life is. But simply by watching his life, discussing about him, hearing about him, one can actually get a lot of benefits spiritually and materially. It is said, Rameti, Ramabhadreti, Ramachandreti Vasmaran, Rama, Ramachandra, Ramabhadra, referring to the same Supreme Lord, simply by remembering him, thinking of him, his pastimes, his activities, Vasmaran. Naro nalipyate papai. The person will be liberated. He will be untouched by the grievous sins that we have committed in our past. The past reactions, the sinful reactions don't touch us. We don't have to go through any amount of sinful reactions that we have accumulated in our life simply by thinking of the Supreme Lord Rama. Rameti, Ramabhadreti, Ramachandreti Vasmaran. Naro nalipyate papai. Then what happens? What is the benefit? The benefit is muktir bhuktair. We will get material success and spiritual success both. Not that only I'll get spiritual success, no. Rama Raksha Stotra says muktir bhuktir. That means the happiness, the enjoyment, the success, whatever we want to experience even in material life, all that along with mukti, the liberation, everything we get. So as Ram Navami is approaching on coming Sunday, it is very appropriate that we absorb our mind in thinking of Lord Sri Ram. Today, we will take one or two incidents from Sri Ramayana and analyze those incidents from perspective of human relationships, the dynamics of human relationships. Because, one may wonder, Ramayana happened millions of years ago, lakhs of years ago. How is it connected to my life? Why should I read Ramayana? Why should I hear Ramayana? Because there are a lot of lessons that we can implement in our life. We can see how there are refined human relationship dynamics are actually available. We can see from Sri Ramayana. This incident is a very famous incident from Sri Ramayana that many of us are aware, but we will try to see from an unknown perspective of a relationship. This is during the Vanavas, that means when Ram, Sita, Lakshman, they are in the forest. Kaikeyi has requested Dasharatha to abandon Ram to the forest. So they are in the forest. And it is 14 years of exile. They have to live in the forest for 14 years. And after the 14 years, they've almost completed about 12 and a half or 13 years, something like this. And at that time, Ravana sends a demon by name Maricha, and his whole idea was he will go in a very beautiful form of a very beautiful deer, golden deer that will have the silver dots all over its body, and it will enchant Mother Sita, and Sita will desire to have the deer, and in that way Ram will go away, and then Ravana will come and kidnap Sita. So this is the whole background, the most famous pastime. So as you all know, when Mother Sita saw that very unique and special deer, golden deer with silver dots all over the body, she immediately wanted to have the deer with her. She requested Ram, when we return Ayodhya, if I have the special deer with me, I can flaunt this deer that I've got something from my Aranyavasa, from Chitrakoot. I can show to my friends and relatives, and that will be a special memory. So could you please get me this deer? In this way, Ram went away from the Parnakutira where they were living. And as expected, it was actually not a deer, it was a demon, Maricha. When the demon Maricha took Ram far away from the Parnakutir, he immediately started crying out Sita's name, Lakshmana's name in Ram's voice. He said, "Ha Sita, ha Lakshmana, save me." In this way, he created illusion. And when Sita heard this voice, she became completely concerned for Ram. She said, "Ram is in danger. Ram is in want of some help." And she immediately called Lakshman and said, "Lakshman, please go help your brother Ram." And Lakshman immediately dismissed Sita's this concern, and he said, "My dear mother Sita, Ram can never be in danger. In fact, he can remove the danger of the whole world, right? Bhava bhaya darunam. He can liberate people from the greatest danger of the material existence. How can he be in the danger?" So like this, Lakshman was fully convinced that Ram can never be in any danger. It must be act of a demon. But Sita, because she was in a relationship, and she was in Madhurya Rasa of Ram, and she was feeling concerned and fearful for Ram's safety. She couldn't bear Lakshmana's dismissal, and she tried persuading Lakshmana, "Please go, please go. Ram must be in some danger." But Lakshman was not taking it seriously. This made Sita very angry at Lakshman. She said, "I know why you are not going. I know it. I know your intention very well. I know why you come with us to forest. Because you have some ill intentions. You have some wrong intention to enjoy me, to take me in the absence of Ram. So you've been waiting. You've been waiting for an opportunity so that when Ram goes away, when Ram is no more, so you take that opportunity to force me to have fun with you." In this way, Sita cast aspersion on Lakshmana's character. When Lakshmana heard these words, it pierced his heart. As we all know how Lakshman so genuinely, with so much of love and care, he came to be with Ram and Sita because he loved Ram. He surrendered his life at feet of Ram, and now he is hearing these harsh words which are so painful to tolerate from Mother Sita. And Sita is saying that you are intentionally not going because you want Ram to get into danger. You want Ram to die in this forest so that there is nobody, so that you can have me. In this way, Sita was actually doubting the character of Lakshmana. You can imagine, I want you to put yourself into Lakshmana's shoes. Lakshmana left his wife Urmila for sake of serving his brother Ram and Sita. If you can leave your newly married wife, you just married with Ram, all four of the brothers married, and you just left your newly married wife Urmila. Actually, Kaikeyi never said Lakshmana should go to forest. Lakshmana could have stayed enjoying the Ayodhya's facilities and kingdom and all that prosperity of Ayodhya. Nobody expected that Lakshmana should go to forest, but Lakshmana voluntarily, willingly, he went with Ram and Sita so that he can be with them, he can serve them, he can take care of them, he can protect them. This was Lakshmana's genuine intention. And here Sita is casting aspersion on his character, doubting the character. If somebody doubts your character when your intentions are genuine, and you have made such a serious sacrifice in your life for that person, and now the same person is doubting your character, how do you feel? And Lakshmana was in that situation. And he immediately took his bow and arrow and he requested Mother Sita to remain in the Parana Kutira, not come out. And he immediately went out searching for Ram. And finally, when Lakshmana comes and searches in the forest of Dandakaranya, he sees Ram, and Ram has shot an arrow. The arrow has gone and hit the deer, Maricha. It's actually a demon. And Lakshmana could see that now the deer has given up its form of a deer. It has turned itself into original form of a Maricha. But still, surprisingly, the demon is calling out in Rama's voice, Ha Sita, Ha Lakshmana, Ha Sita, Lakshmana. When Lakshmana saw this, his doubt got confirmed. Yes, I doubted this. I knew this. It must be an act of some demon who's trying to delude us, who's trying to put all of us into trouble. And when Ram sees Lakshman, he asks, Lakshman, why did you come? Then, Lakshmana says, no, we all heard, call your voice, asking for some help, calling out Sita's name, calling out my name. So Sita became very concerned and she insisted that I must go and help you. So I came. Ram said, no, there is some conspiracy. Look at this demon. He's calling out in my voice, your name, Sita's name. There must be some vicious plan. Why did you leave Sita? Let's go fast. Immediately, let's go. So when Ram and Lakshman, both of them return to Parana Kutir, they see Sita is no more. She's not to be found in Parana Kutira. And Ram and Lakshman, frantically they search everywhere. Sita, where are you? Sita, where are you? Where are you? Like this, they search and search. And finally, Sita is not to be found. And they find out with the help of Jatayu that Sita has been kidnapped by evil Ravana. And when Ram came to know that he has lost his beloved Sita, that made him furious, that made him angry at Lakshmana again. He said, Oh Lakshmana, you are so useless. What kind of a person are you? You are so useless. I gave you a responsibility of being with Sita, protecting her, giving her safety, and you couldn't do that. You are a useless fellow. What have you done? Why are you with us if you can't even do this much? And when Lakshmana heard this kind of words from Rama, can you imagine how painful it must be? Here Ram, doubting the competence of Lakshmana. Competence means capacity, ability. He's saying that you are useless. You couldn't even do such one small responsibility that I gave you to protect Mother Sita. So here is Ram doubting and criticizing Lakshmana for his incapability of protecting Sita. And there Sita is doubting the character of Lakshmana. Actually, put yourself into the shoes of Lakshmana. What would you do if you are in situation like Lakshmana? You can comment and tell me, what would you do? Somebody is doubting your character, somebody is doubting your competence. Actually, in our life, what do we live for? We live for these two things. We want people to appreciate our good character, and we want people to appreciate our competence, our abilities, right? Who are we? If you ask anyone in any interview, basically people want to know your character and they want to know your competence, like your marks and your achievements, how capable are you, what extra abilities you have, that's your competence. Anybody, whether it is job interview or somebody getting married, so they want to know the other person, or anywhere, we all want to know only two things. One is competence, another one is character. When people are doubting both of them, competence and character, how does it feel like? If you were in Lakshmana's shoes, how would you handle this? Most of the people leave the situation, right? And it is not just they're doubting you, they're doubting Lakshmana. Actually, you should also remember what Lakshmana has done for both of them. He left his newly married wife Urmila back in Ayodhya, and he is staying in the forest, devoid of all facilities, no enjoyment, only service, 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 service. Day and night he is doing service to both Ram and Sita. To the person you are doing so much service, one day they doubt your character and your competence both. How do you feel? Daytime he will do so much service, night time he will not sleep. You all know Lakshmana didn't sleep for continuously 14 years. He was guarding Sita and Ram at night. Daytime he's cooking for them, he's bringing something, he's bringing fruit, all those things. So after working so hard for 14 years, somebody doubts your character. After giving your entire life, ignoring your personal life, your wife, your mother, and your kingdom, everything, somebody doubts your competence. So how did Lakshmana handle this? That will tell us how to look at Ramayana from relationship perspective. Because at the end of the day, you see how Lakshmana, Rama, Sita, they handled their relationship in this kind of complicated situation, this kind of tough situation. See, Ramayana, you may say, oh, millions of years back it happened, but this kind of situations can happen even in our life today. People can doubt your character today. People can doubt your competence today. It can happen at home. It can happen at our workplace. It can happen in our school, colleges. It can happen with our friends, relatives. It can happen with anyone. It can happen to all of us today, because such things can happen, and we can take lessons from Ramayana. How to handle this kind of situation? How did Lakshmana handle? What did Lakshmana do? As we all know, Lakshmana, he did not become angry. He did not become frustrated. How dare Sita doubts my character? She doesn't know what sacrifice I have done. He didn't think like this. He didn't say, how dare Ram talks about my capability? Doesn't he know that what I have done in the last 13, 14 years? Karadushana, when Shurparnaka, they all came, how I protected Sita. So Sita was under danger when Shurparnaka was attacking. I protected Sita at that time. What is he thinking? He's doubting my ability? No, Lakshman was not agitated. Lakshman was not upset. Lakshman was not angry. Lakshman was not furious. Lakshmana stayed calm. Lakshmana was empathetic. What made Lakshmana stay calm? Why it didn't make him angry, even though somebody is doubting his character, somebody is doubting his capability, competence? Why Lakshmana did not get angry? We all would have got angry. We would have got upset. We would have left Sita Ram and say, okay, Ram, it's too much. You handle your life. I think you are not having any gratitude for me. I left everything, came for you, and today you so cheaply you talk about me. So something like this we would have spoken and come. But Lakshmana didn't do any of these things. What made Lakshmana stay strong in that relationship? Today we live in a world where relationships are very fragile. Sometimes in the airport we see there are some luggage with the tag called fragile, handle with care. Means what? They're so delicate, they can break any time. Today all our relationships have become like that, so fragile. Somebody says some statement, we break our relationship. Somebody forget about making such a serious statement like doubting character and competence. A small things, we all break our relationship today. But how Lakshmana stayed so strong? Why it didn't make him angry? It is because Lakshmana, he was able to stay strong because of one reason called positive emotional bank account. I repeat, positive emotional bank account. Just like we all have bank account, right? What do we do in the bank account? We do transactions with the bank account. Either we deposit or we withdraw it. Either we deposit, we go and deposit money into our account, or we withdraw money from our account. So relationships are like bank account. Just like in the bank account we deposit and we withdraw. Then relationship, what kind of bank account it is? Relationship is an emotional bank account. In bank, it's a financial bank account. Means we deposit money, we withdraw money. But here Ramayana tells us relationships are like emotional bank account. You deposit emotion and you withdraw emotion. And it is called positive emotional bank account. We deposit what kind of emotions? We deposit positive emotion. And what are the positive emotions? Love, care, trust. These are the positive emotions that we keep depositing. And why Lakshmana did not become angry or upset? Because in the last many years, at least in the forest for 13 years, and before that in Ayodhya, Rama and Sita, both of them have deposited enough positive emotions in Lakshmana's relationship account. Lakshmana knows how much Ram cares for Lakshmana. Lakshmana knows how much Mother Sita feels for Lakshmana. What's her feeling? How much love Rama and Sita, both of them, have got for Lakshmana. Lakshmana has experienced it not one day, 2 days, for years and years and years. So because for many days and years, Ram and Sita have deposited their love, their affection, and their trust, their care, all of that in Lakshmana's account. And when you make a withdrawal is like scolding, withdrawal is becoming angry, withdrawal is like chastising, it is like withdrawal. Anything that is negative is like taking away. Anything which is positive is depositing. So actually Lakshmana, in those difficult situations, he was not seeing the words or emotions of Sita or Rama, but he was able to see their intentions. When Sita was saying such things to Lakshmana, Lakshmana knew it is not that Sita is talking about my character, she is actually expressing her genuine concern that, oh, what has happened to Ram? Her intense love for Ram and her intense concern for Ram's safety is making her speak like this. It is not that she has any doubt about my character. It is her intense concern for Ram. See, this is the secret. When people speak, What we do is, we see their words, we don't see their intention. But during the tough situations, Ramayana teaches us, like Lakshmana. One more point is, Lakshmana is a very angry young man in Ramayana. He's not somebody a very cool and calm person like that. Actually, in Ramayana, if you read, you will see Lakshmana is somebody who gets angry very quickly, and he's somebody who's a very short-tempered person. Even that kind of a person was so well able to manage. It is because of positive emotional account that Ram and Sita have with Lakshmana. When you go on depositing and depositing and depositing only positive feelings for them, then that creates a shock absorber. Like when you drive vehicle and when you're riding on a bumpy road, there are a lot of potholes and speed breakers, and when a vehicle is moving, how smooth you are riding, it depends on what good shock absorbers your vehicle has got. If your vehicle doesn't have any shock absorber, you will also experience a very bumpy ride. It's a very, it will be turbulent experience. But if there are shock absorber, even though there are potholes, there are, vehicle is going through all this turbulence, you won't feel it. It is because shock absorber absorbing. Now, this kind of a conversation that Sita and Ram with Lakshman was nothing but a very turbulent situation. But Lakshmana was able to tolerate it because he had a shock absorber called positive emotional account. What is that? The love, care, affection, trust that Sita and Ram have shown for Lakshman for days and months and years and decades before this incident happened. So coming back to this point, Lakshmana was not looking at the words that Sita and Ram were speaking. He was able to see their intention. That is the secret. How many of us are able to see the intention of the people, not the words of the people? Because many times what hurts us is the words. But if you are able to see the intention, then we'll see a different game together. Why Lakshmana was able to see? As I already told you, he already had enough of loving emotions from Sita and Ram. So in our life, coming to our life, when you go on deposit lot of emotions, positive emotion, it could be a father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, friends, teachers or colleagues or your boss, it could be anyone in this world. They say, before you make one withdrawal from your relationship account, you must make sure you have made 100 positive emotion deposits. When you make 100 positive emotional deposit, then you can withdraw one emotion back. That means you can be angry at them, or you can get upset with them, you can scold them, you can chastise them. That's how human relationships work. So now Lakshmana did not argue back with Ram or with Sita. He stayed calm. He was able to understand the genuine concern of Sita, genuine concern of Ram, and he continued to be with them. He again went with Ram to search Sita, and he was with Ram to build the Ram Setu bridge. He was with Ram in fighting with Ravana. He was with Ram all along, even though such a very harsh incident happened. So like this, we can see how it is so important that that kind of harsh situations can come in any one of our life. Lakshmana was able to manage because of his positive emotional bank account with Ram and Sita. If you read Ramayana, you will see this is a very rare incident. What is that? Ram and Sita becoming upset with Lakshmana. But before that, you will see how Ram is so loving and caring with Lakshmana, taking care of him. There are so many such things. That means what? Before you get upset with somebody, at least 100 times you must show your love to that person. In an unavoidable situation, you may get angry, you get upset, but your previous 100 loving expressions will act like a shock absorber in your relationship. That will create a cushion effect. so that people will not have turbulent, jerky experience when such incidents happen. There are many such beautiful instances in Ramayana that we will see how relationships are given priority, not any other thing. Another a small instance with which we try to wrap up today's talk. When Bharat comes back from his maternal grandfather's home, Dasharatha is no more, is dead, Ram has gone to forest, and he comes, he sees his mother Kaikeyi, and Kaikeyi says all his enemies are gone and now he can become king, and so Ayodhya belongs to Bharat now. Bharat becomes broken hearted. He is unable to believe what his mother has done. He is so upset that his mother has prioritized the property over relationship. You see, many of us in today's world, we behave like Kaikeyi. For us, the property and positions and facilities of Ayodhya is more important than the relationship with people. Kaikeyi broke her relationship with Dasharatha, with Ram, Sita, and all of them because she thought property will give me happiness. But Bharat prioritized his relationship, not the property. He immediately said, his mother, I can't be happy. I can be happy only if Ram is back in Ayodhya. I don't want this property. And immediately he took an oath of getting Ram back to Ayodhya. So with so many people, he goes to Chitrakoot and tries to convince Ram, please come back, please come back. But Ram, as you know, he has given promise to his father, so he can't break the promise. He says, no, I'll come after 14 years. Then Bharat says, okay, if that is the case, then I will go back, but not as a king, as a servant of Ram, servant of you. I will not be king. I will take your paduka, I'll make your footwear, your paduka, as the king of Ayodhya. So we can see how Bharat is demonstrating that relationships are more important than the property in our life. And Bharat is an example. Can you imagine, for one house, for some money, we break relationship. But here Bharat is giving up the entire kingdom, Ayodhya. Ayodhya is an extraordinary kingdom. It's not some small 60-40 site. It is a huge kingdom. And that kingdom Bharat considered insignificant in front of relationship with Ram, his brother. So Ramayana teaches how to have great relationships like Lakshmana had with Ram, Sita, even though such a harsh situation of somebody doubting your character and competence. And Bharat teaching us how property is not important. Lakshmana is teaching how to handle such kind of a tough situations in your relationship. Bharat is teaching how to manage our temptation between property versus relationship. So there are many more such beautiful examples. That is why by reading, it is said in our olden days, few decades back, everyone would read Ramayana. Sometimes people may say, oh, I don't believe in God. I don't know whether Ramayana is real or not. Forget all those things, whether it is real, not real, the minimum benefit that we get from Ramayana is that our own relationships will increase, because we see how great lessons about relationships we can get from Ramayana like this. So there are amazing life lessons, especially when you read Ramayana from this perspective of managing relationship, how to develop amazing relationship. It is heart-touching. It is so heart-touching. And how Bharat is saying, I don't want property, I want my relationship. And Lakshman says, doesn't matter, how harsh you speak to me. I will not focus on what harsh words you use, but I will see what is your intention is, because my relationship with you is so important. Nobody breaks relationship in Ramayana. Ram, Lakshman, Bharata, Shatrughna, Sita, all of them teach so many lessons like this. So I hope now in this way we all meditate on Lord Ram, at least for these matters. It is said, Rameti, Ramabhadreti, Ramachandreti Vasmaran, Nalipyate naror papair, bhuktir, muktir, simply by thinking of Ram, we can actually free ourselves from all sinful reactions and achieve material and spiritual success. So, by thinking of Ram, the Ram Navami is just 2 days away, and not only we become purified from all sinful reaction, we can also improve our relationships with our beloved ones and make our material life also a very happy and successful life. So I wish you all the best. I request all of you to please read Ramayana, hear Rama's life story full of amazing inspiration, our own relationships, our life becomes an extraordinary great life. With this, I thank all of you for joining us today to hear these wonderful pastimes of Lord Ram and his brothers Bharat and Lakshman from Valmiki Ramayana. Thank you so much. Please share your learnings, your experience in the comment section. Hare Krishna.